Hey everybody, welcome to the nightly vid. Starting with the indexes, we're going to see SPY. As we said yesterday, closer to going inside day, and, big surprise, that's what you get. So one thing we always cover when we have an inside day is why we don't trade it, because it goes up and then down and then back up and then back down and then stuck in the middle, up, down, up, down, up, down. You're just going to get wrecked in here, right? So you can see the morning gap up, they sell it. Then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes back down, then it goes back up. You're going to get wrecked. And the reason you get wrecked is because when you zoom out, this is the way you spot it. You'll notice highs, lows, this is all within that previous range. This is an inside bar consolidation to all this stuff. So higher time from inside tells you chop, chop, chop. And the thing is with that is if you know the condition, then you can actually trade it. All you do is you wait, let them go sideways, and then normally in the latter or second half of the day, you'll have a reclaim of the range to play off of. So this 2-2 reversal, get a nice little move in here. You can see instantly it goes $1.21 in like less than 10 minutes. So you can do that type of stuff, and you'll see the lower lows reclaim, higher highs reclaim, lower lows reclaim, and et cetera, right? But you have to make sure timing that. If you don't, you're going to get wrecked, and therefore today we didn't really do too much. If we go to Qs, also inside, and let me zoom all the way in here. Also inside, day, inside week, IWM, inside day, inside week, Dow Jones, inside day, inside week. So inside bar, simultaneous break tomorrow, or simultaneous rev strat is what we're looking for. One thing we did see today was a simultaneous break in energies. And this is a lesson in how simultaneous breaks work. So in the energy sector, we have the XLE, the XOP, these are different sub-industries or subsectors, OIH. So what happened this morning is we saw XLE take the day 2-2 reversal up. So this was stronger than the SPY, because SPY was inside at that point. So energies, we got a more aggressive buyer than the market. That's a good thing to know. It's a reversal on a Tuesday. So a 2-2 on a Tuesday can trigger signals and cause outside weeks, depending on how it's occurring. In this case, we triggered a 2-2 week with a 2-2 day on a Tuesday. XLE broke first. We saw CVX break, which also broke the weekly signal into magnitude, and we alerted on that. We saw Oxy break 3-2-2. You'll notice the 3-2 reversal signal. We saw XOM break 2-2 day, triggering 3-2-2. Fun to say, fun to do, right? In the energies. Then we saw, other stuff going. So FANG broke, right? If we go to COP, 2-2 in there, you'll see it was inside week and up, etc. So the thing is those breaks don't all occur instantly at the same time. What happens is you have the first couple to break and then the last ones in that break. Therefore, when you see XLE break, this actually occurred before XOP. And it occurred before OIH. So we see XLE break, we can go play XOP and OIH to confirm a simultaneous break that's occurring. Where the last one to break has the most evidence, the first one to break was the strongest. So therefore, this allowed us to get in. And what I personally traded was Oxy 3-2-2 because, if that really works, something we've been watching for a while, you'll see the same idea that we talked about before. Big sideways action up in here. So you see they went sideways for a long time. If this works, maybe we get back going through that range. Right? If we go to the quarter, maybe 2-2 quarter. So we'll see how that works out. That being said, the strongest ones in there are going to be VLO, which I also ended up playing. You're going to have PSX in there, Rev Strat quarter, Pivot Machine Gun. So PSX and VLO, these are going to be things we add to the list. Or oops. So energy, sim break, PSX, VLO, Rev Strats on the quarter. Oxy, XOM, Bang, CVX can also be in there. that being said, we didn't really see anything much of anything else today. That was the main. And if we go to the day, you can see energy is 70% up. There was also materials going. So if we go to XLB, you'll see it did go reversal with the month really green. The 2-2 quarter kicking in from the quarterly video, which so materials as well. This one's just harder for me to, get through just because I don't trade it very often. So what we can do is go here, just look at the gainers. So APD, NUE, ALB, this is going to be where it's at. As far as we can tell there, I'm just not the most familiar with all of these names, but we can take a look. NUE, that is from the quarterly vid. Maybe ALB does something crazy in here. Let's see. It does not have the lower low, but it's been a lot higher. Let's see. APD. APD also has the hammer counter shooter 3-2-2 quarter, potentially going to break. So I guess we'll see. And what I want to do is sort by percent change, see if there's any big gainers in there we're missing. OLN and LYB. Nah. Kind of digging in the dumps there. You can play it if you'd like. LYB is a 2-2 on the month. However, it is a 3-2 down here still. So maybe, right? But those are really the two sectors we saw going. There were some industrials in there, some cyclicals this month, but today, not so much. But that's where we see the buying. And then obviously tech, you still had some strength in there. As far as today went, you'll see the market's very lackluster because of those inside weeks. So we'll see, who's inside, and then we'll have the strat attack list to go through. Starting with who's inside day, highest ATR to lowest. Meta, 2-1 day, maybe a weekly down. It is still an inside month, so they're chopping them up a bit. MasterCard, inside day. Could become outside week to the downside. DE, inside day. It could re-break the monthly signal, so day to re-trigger the month if that kicks into the downside. It's momentum though. Let's see, United Health Group, inside day. It's chopping them up. Ugh, not a lot of very interesting setups like top or bottom of the broad information, but we'll have some names nonetheless. We'll have Meta in there at MasterCard, put Cat in there /DE. All right, let's see. FedEx. Inside day, it's a little interesting. Tells us UPS potentially. Also inside day. So maybe some simultaneous breaks there with your transports. And this also tells us some cruise line stuff, which it looks like NCLH was the only one. Tells us maybe airlines. So AAL, UAL, DAL. You got some pivot machine gun to the downside. These are still inside months. Delta. Gosh, a lot of lines. Inside month United Airlines. Meh. Trying to shy away from those inside months. Let's see. ARM in the chips. It is 2 week down. It's still inside month. So it's got a bigger range because of that. So they sold it Monday inside, and then if maybe they come back to sell more Wednesday if they want to. It's coming back into this baby. Let's see. Lowe's, Home Depot. Gosh, they're everywhere. You know, pick your favorite is pretty much what it looks like. To me, ideally, we want stuff triggering weekly signals just because we have a lot of inside weeks. But, you know, given so much of the market's inside day, we'll have a nice setup for the simultaneous break. I like Marvel. So you'll see it's inside week down in Marvel. Potentially inside day down to confirm that. And that's really about it in there. So a lot of inside days, which sets up a good move for tomorrow. It's just a matter of, you know, how many are breaking up or down. That's something we're gonna be watching. That being said, let's take a look at our strat attack. So in order to find the strat attack list, what we look for is 2 up to start the week. Copy it. And then we look for monthly, quarterly, weekly, yearly signals in force. So we can manually go through these. We could say, okay, clear filter, put that back. But we can just go like this and say in force true. And we can remove continuation from that. And we can only look for 2s ups or 2s up. So we can sort this by dollar change, and you'll see CVX. It's like Palantir's in there, XOP, XOM. So energies, right? And those are turnaround Tuesday names. So they went 2-2 reversal. But that can also put it on the strat attack list. Take a look at Palantir. Yeah, so Palantir, you can see momentum hammer day to confirm 3-2-2 week. Let's see, MTDR in the energies. Oof, really blew them out today. That triggers the quarter, so pretty neat. So it's just energies after energies. Which again, you know, go open up the scanner, pick your favorites, or go into the energy holdings. You just ask AI, what are the holdings? It'll tell you. And really, it's like, just look at those and you'll see, right? All these energies in orange highlighted. That's where we have the most evidence. So that's really what we're seeing. Only other thing there is Advanced Auto Parts, AAP, which is 3-2 quarter, actually 3-3-2. Coming off the lows, so that's interesting. And they got 29% gain on total revenue. That's pretty interesting as well. So we'll put that in there with a star next to it. All right, let's take a look at monthly signals in force true, 2 up. We go for the high percent flyers. Those are more fun, in my opinion. We got more energies, PVF. Shouldn't be showing this. Let's see. Oops, I was in the wrong scan mode, so we're actually gonna have to go back to the week. For some reason, I've been doing that recently, but we'll see if that changes anything. It's just more energies are showing up on the list for the week. Hess shows up at the top of the list. Wow, look at Hammer Day. Confirms the inside week to the upside through into reversal. Confirms last month's inside month up. It's beautiful. Or last month's. Looks like Uber momentum hammer with inside weak signal to the upside. It shows up on the list now. That would be about it. All right, let's go back to the month then. Signal mode, let's see. Win in the hotels and resorts, which we mentioned to the Strat traders and stat trading beginning of the month. So let's see, it was last week, beginning of last week. That's going up still. MAR also mentioned to the traders in there, beginning of the month, new quarters going up still as well. Although it could reverse tomorrow with a 2-2 against. I'm starting to see that my daily scan was actually incorrect, so sorry about this, guys. Let us see. Sorry about that. Basic materials. Really, there's not much on the bullish strat attack list that I'm picking up on that's of interest besides those energies, which, you know, makes it pretty easy for us. You know, just look at energies and that's it. Looks like Myrna, they really blew them out today with Pfizer. All right, we'll take a look at the quarter now. Doesn't look like there's anything new that's shown up there, and it's because the month and the quarter are going to be relatively the same at this point. Because the quarter just opened, it's still the beginning of it. So pretty much what we can say is they're really just not going too crazy for anything besides energies. And before I forget, we'll add MPC the 3-2, which we actually talked about today on stream, with VLO, PSX, and then MPC being the leaders there. And MPC's 3-2, so potentially even more aggressive than the rest. All right, outside of that, there's nothing very crazy on the gainers that we're going to find here for the strat attack list, and that's okay. It gives you more focus this week. So we can say on the strat attack energies, right? And it's going to be your PSX, VLO, MPC, Oxy, X1, Fang, CVX, ETC, ... Outside of that, here's your inside days, and we could take a look to see if there's any rev strats here. Although Monday did not have a crazy amount of inside days, we will take a little gander. MOS, which is in the materials, would have the rev strat day to the downside. Pivot machine gun. little bit of a slower mover in here. So, you know, if you wanted weekly options, could be watching that. Let's see. While the energies rally, our RC would be rev strat day to the downside tomorrow if it kicks in. And really, there's not too much else to look at there. Let's see if there's shooters in there. HCA could cause a weekly reversal. It's kind of in a chop shop, so up to you if you're interested in that. So there's not too much there to talk about. Let's see if we got hammer rev strat setting up anywhere. Looks like in utilities, XEL to cause an outside weak to the upside. PPL to cause a rev strat weak to the upside. Is mother bar still pretty stuck in there. DTE to cause a outside weak to the upside would probably be my favorite one because it could kick into a PMG after new lows on the day. So we will add that to the rev strat list. And what that tells you is XLU. You can see maybe a rev strat tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. Staples, not so much. They didn't really firm up at all today. TMUS or T-Mobile could be a rev strat as well. So we'll just add that to the list. Why not? That being said, tomorrow's Wednesday, so we'll have the energy numbers coming out 1 hour after the open. Therefore, we'll see. Do we confirm 2 up again or negate 3 to the downside or 2 to the downside? Given that's the case, we'll see, right? If they confirm by continuing with energy numbers and 30 or 60 signals, we'll add. And if they don't, we'll reduce or get out. So that's all we got tonight. If you're tuning into the end of the video, energy simultaneous daily break. Here's your leaders. Here's your list of, common energy names. Materials is also a part of that, although not as much focus. NUE from the quarterly vid is going to be in there. Here's your inside days. There's so many of them, so plan for a simultaneous break. Here's your indexes, also all inside day. Here's your strat attack. It's pretty much all energies with AAP being a leader. You could say Uber as well being in there. Then here's some rev strats to the upside. Hope you guys enjoyed the nightly vid. See you guys bright and early if you're in stat trading. If you're not, check us out at stratalerts.ai. Adios.